Epsilon 11. Epsilon 11, sound off. Why are you in Akasa Marshes? Who ordered you? Where are my men?
They're gone. The creatures got the better of them.
Abandon the vehicle and walk away. You have my word, no harm will come to you.
How about I give it back when I no longer need it?
I would advise against it.
It's just too convenient.
You have no idea who you've stolen from. Choose your next move wisely.
Why is this happening? Camille. Oh, my baby. Anna, my baby girl. We got separated during the evacuation in Tulsa. The screaming, panic, the smoke, pure chaos. I lost them in the crowd. I finally traced them back to Jova, but I'm too late. I'm too late. Oh, Camille, forgive me. I'm too late. Without one of their belongings, I can't even give them a proper palamist burial. Why? I finally traced them. Without one...
I'm only permitted to play Sabinian classics, I'm afraid. Unfortunately, I only happen to know one of their dreadful compositions. I'm getting the impression that Captain Voss is tired of hearing the same tune over and over again. I need to learn some new pieces before I end up against the wall. I'm get a soldier. I'm only permitted to play. I'm getting the impression that Captain Voss is tired. The soldiers have begun whispering their complaints into Voss's ear. They're fed up with my lack of variety, and Voss's patience is wearing thin. I can feel it.
See that guy? Looking through the binoculars, standing safely behind the sandbags? That's the captain. I suggest you chat with him before you wander into trouble.
This is the life, man. For years I waited for this fucking war and it finally arrived. 2 years and we're just getting started. You know what's exhausting? Pretending that everything is okay. Love thy neighbor bullshit. It's about time we rid ourselves of the palamists. I'll drink to that.
I was part of the mob that hung those civilians in the marsh. I don't know what came over me. Now these soldiers make sure I pay for my crime every single night. And I deserve it. I knew all of them. We were neighbors. I taught their children. Those kids were my life. Rebecca, Talum, Justina, especially little Cyril Kuhn. I want to remember who I was back then, before all of this happened. I need to wake up from this nightmare. Sethers, forgive me. I was part of the mob that hung those... I want...
I don't know how you managed to get here, and I don't care. I have my orders not to interfere with your operations. Just do me the same courtesy. That's all we need. A bunch of fucking outsiders roaming around our country. I strongly suggest you avoid my men. They have enough to worry about.
Who are you?
I'm Captain Voss, 6th Battalion, 3rd Company of the Asterian Armed Forces. I'm in charge here. Jova is part of Asteria now, so everything here belongs to the Sabinian cause. I'll follow my orders for now, but there's a limit. The way I see it, you're not bulletproof, and you're alone. I think we understand each other. It's the greatest country on this spinning ball of ours. Well, if it wasn't for the Palamists bringing us down several notches. When we finally get rid of them, Hadea will rise like it once did under King Aster. He was by far our greatest monarch. Look at what we've accomplished with fewer men and resources. We've captured the entire province of Umbrahan and pushed into Argola. I'm guessing we would have Trisk, the capital city of Argola, if it weren't for those damn things. The Asterian armed forces will swing around and liberate Jahania when the fighting resumes. You know the saying, right? ON Peacekeepers are as useful as a second asshole on your elbow. Useless outsider trash. We are superior in every way. We've dominated the arts, business, education, and politics for decades, if not centuries. We need to progress. The only way to achieve greatness is to rid ourselves of the Palamist swine. They're drowning in their own filth. We need to step on their heads and hold them underwater. If we let them, those bastards will drag us down with them. They're insects. Look at what they did to that Sabinian family in the marsh. Now, I know what you're thinking. What about the Palamists in the forest? Killing their women and children and sending their men to work camps? But they're not women. They're not children. And they certainly aren't men. When you have a cockroach problem in your home, you don't negotiate with the vermin to leave. You exterminate them. I don't know what they are, but I do know they aren't interested in the town. If they were, I wouldn't be standing here. I sent a scouting party to try to figure out what we're dealing with here, but they never came back. I've been observing them for quite some time. They have no discernible pattern, rules, or hierarchy. In fact, the only thing they seem interested in is that strange dome-like mass in the marsh. My guess is they came out of it. I'd order a salvo on the damn thing, but I don't want to kick the hornet's nest.
I'm looking for Jova's blacksmith. Have you seen him?
He must have left with the ON convoy. I can't find this son of a bitch anywhere. We had a good deal. Our Corps of Engineers went dark right about when the creatures appeared. He was going to help rebuild Jova. If you find him, tell him he can come back. I'll go easy on him.
Where was the ON convoy going?
I have no idea, and I couldn't care less. They're either brave or stupid to have made a run for it. My money's on stupid. Wherever they're going, I'm sure they didn't get very far from their outpost.
Where's the ON outpost?
The outpost is northeast of here, on the outskirts of town. It's on the street behind the blacksmith's forge.
What happened here?
Justice happened here. If you think the Palamists aren't doing the same thing to us, you're a fucking idiot. Jova's part of Asteria's relocation program. We were gonna get everything ready for the migrating Sabinian families. That was before these damn creatures showed up.
Good haul. We usually don't find much in these backwater Palamist shitholes. Last time we hit, we barely filled up one truck. Voss is happy. And if Voss is happy, we're happy. He keeps the real good stuff in his office. We'll be living large after this. Voss is happy.
I should be at the Abbey, trashing the place. I bet those lucky bastards over there are filling their pockets with gold.
These are the scumbags that hung the Sabinian family. What a waste of ammunition. They should have let me do it my way. They would have suffered for days. These are the
This shit will never end. I need to get the fuck out of here. I had no choice, man. Voss and his goons look at magazines to see if we fired. Whatever you're doing in Jova, make it short. This shit.
We caught one of these scumbags scavenging for food in one of the houses. A few ripped fingernails later, he gave up the rest. They were hiding like rats down in the old well. This filth got off easy if you ask me. We caught one of these...
Found the poor pup whimpering alone in a house, just abandoned there by the owners. Unbelievable how utterly heartless these palamists are. He's in good hands now, though. Aren't you? Who's a good boy? Hey! Hands off! I found him. He's mine now. I found the poor pup whimpering. He's in good hands now, though.
Mommy and Daddy are still yelling at each other a lot. Daddy says there's a lot of bad men coming to hurt us. Makes me really scared. Uncle Jaffer is the only one who still plays with me. He says we should all go to the lake with him. He says it's safer there, but I don't want to leave my friends. You're not a soldier, are you? Please don't tell anyone I'm here.
Hey, who are you?
I'm Rebecca. I've been hiding here since the attack on Jova. When the bombs fell from the sky, I was playing in the treehouse with my baby brother. My parents ran out and screamed at us to get down. My baby brother ran to them. That's when the bomb exploded. Miss Haley taught us about Hadea. She told us that the Sabinians were horrible people who always wanted to hurt us. And they gave us examples of what happened in our history. King Astor was a very mean man who wanted to eliminate all the palamists. The Sabinians think he's a hero. It's true. Look at what they did to us in Jova. Miss Haley was right. They all hate us. I want this to end. I want my mom and dad to tell me everything will be okay. I want to play with my baby brother in the treehouse. I want to go to school. I want to play with my friends in the marsh. And I want to listen to Uncle Jaffer's sermons. I want things to go back to normal. I don't think they ever will. They were always nice to me. Sal wanted me to stay with them at their outpost, but I didn't want to. This is my home. She came to see me in secret and made sure I had food. This morning, she told me she was leaving. She wanted me to leave Jova with them. I told her I was staying for Uncle Jaffer. She gave me more food and said goodbye. I hate them. They killed my mom and dad. They killed my baby brother. He was only 5. Miss Haley was right about them. They're not people. They're all murderers. Everyone I know is gone. They're with Zethras now, in the higher place. Uncle Jaffer talks about it in his sermons. It's where we go when we die. It's a place that has no memories. You only feel happiness. It's where my mom and dad, baby brother are. They're demons. They're here because of the Sabinians. They're friends with the demons. They don't attack them. See? They're friends with them.
So, I'm looking for the blacksmith. Do you know where he is?
I don't know him very well. I think he doesn't like kids much. I saw some villagers leaving with the, ON Peacekeepers on their white trucks. Maybe he went with them.
Hey, did you see where the white trucks went?
I watched the white trucks drive away. They took the road that turns behind the hill with the ancient monuments. We can see them from here.
What happened here?
The soldiers rounded up everyone. Uncle Jaffer told me to hide when they entered the house. They arrested him and they took him somewhere else. The soldiers separated everyone. The men, the women, the children. People were screaming and crying when they were being forced into the buses. The soldiers didn't take everyone, though. The rest were brought into the forest across the marsh. Only the soldiers came back.
Where's your uncle?
I don't know where they took Uncle Jaffer. I know he wasn't taken into the forest with the others. I hope they let him go. He promised to take me somewhere safe.
They recently assigned me to this battalion. I needed a breather after we pushed through Umbrahan. I heard rumors about what was going on behind the front lines. That shit in the forest. That isn't me. The Asterian army is filled with men like Vass. And he is as filthy as they come. Watch your back. They recently assigned shit.
I've seen Enzo and Daniel do some fucked up shit, but this takes the cake. Almost retched when I walked in. And again, what happened to their families? I guess it's tit for tat, huh?
damn it! Of course I drew the short straw. The worst cleanup job in town and I pull it. Figures.
I don't want it. I found the poor pup Wimp. He's in good hands now. Hey! Hands off! I found him. He's mine now.
You scared me. I thought the little one and I were done for. I'm Judith, and this little fella is Uli. I promised his mother I would care for him when the pogrom came for her. I've been hiding down here ever since. The soldiers up there wouldn't hesitate to gun down a Palamist woman, especially one who cares for a Sabinian baby. I rationed his milk as long as possible, but ran out yesterday. Poor Uli is starving. I don't know how I can possibly get any more. You scared me. I've been a ration.
You want to join me? There's plenty of booze to go around. Hey, you want to hear a story? I got one for you. Our hero is hiding in the marsh like a scared, pitiful little shit. What is he doing, you ask? He's watching his family being hung by the people he once called friends. But then, he comes out of hiding to rescue them at the last second, right? No. Not this guy. He waits. He waits until the Asterian armed forces show up. What a brave bastard. You wanna know how it ends? Spoiler alert. He drinks himself to death.
You wanna join me?
He waits.
I don't know why I'm still holding my gun. I saw a guy unload 2 clips into one of them. It just kept coming at him like it was nothing. We lost a lot of soldiers putting up these barricades. If they ever decide to storm the town, we're all fucked. I can't do anything with that. I don't know why I'm still holding my gun. We lost.
Look at these fucking things. They're not the crunchiest chip in the bag, but they make up for it with pure aggression and ferocity. One of these bastards dismembered a guy like he was a mannequin. Well, they're calm now, but when you piss one off, run. Run your ass off. Look at these fucking things. They're not the crunchiest chip in the bag, but they make up for it with pure aggression.
Man, I'm sick of staring into the marsh. These things aren't looking for a fight anyway. I can't wait to get relieved. I need to pay our sweet doll a visit. That'll take the edge off.
To work heavy machinery like this. Color me surprised. Check his pockets. Take that silly little acorn, put it with the rest.
No! No, please! Don't take...
Shut up!
Oh, fuck! You got blood all over my boots, you fucking asshole!
Alright, boys, go round up the rest of them.
It's just a matter of time before those things break into Jova. And I don't intend to be sober when they do. This hooch right here, signing mead. Oh, God damn, it's good. This is the way I want to go out. I'd give anything for some more. I was stationed to guard Voss's office. Screw that. Wait, don't tell him I said that. I hope he's not looking for the extra key, because I'm about to give it away to whoever brings me some more mead. That is almost empty. Well, I guess it's a start. I'd be a lot more appreciative of a full bottle of... I was...
This is precisely what I need. I'm sure Voss will appreciate this one, at least for a while. I'd feel more comfortable learning one more piece, though. Hopefully Voss will stop staring daggers in my direction now, even if each of these compositions sounds more dreadful than the last. I seriously need to vary the sauce here. I would stop playing this godforsaken composition, but I have a feeling that would hasten my demise.
Poor bastard. Next time he falls, I'll let him choke a little longer.
His gaze be upon you, my son. You're not from here, are you? I know everyone around here, and yet there is a way about you that is familiar to me.
Who are you?
I am Abbot Jaffer, the spiritual leader of Patham Abbey. My life started here, and it seems it will end here. I don't know where you are from, but I'm afraid you've wandered into hell. The roots of hatred run deep and far across Hadea. This isn't the first time we've been caught in a perpetual cycle of violence. Sethrus's benevolence lives in all of us. But the serpent also lives in us. He does not dare show himself until the laws and customs have fallen. When that happens, you will quickly realize that the chains holding civilized men are weak. Steel yourself, my son. The serpent strikes when we are at our most vulnerable. This war is a sword sharpened by propaganda and religious intolerance, slicing and dicing up what generations built over centuries within days. The exchange of cruel and violent acts and the lies perpetuated by the media all played their part. I was shocked to hear that even priests were involved in spreading hateful rhetoric. Now look at us. I see only darkness ahead, but I have faith in Sethrus. I believe Hadeans can quell their emotions and come back to reason. They must, or all will fall to ruin. Lieutenant Rue was the first outsider I ever encountered. She was as curious about our customs and traditions as I was about hers. This Buddha she spoke of is a fascinating figure. I was saddened to hear that the outside world seems to fall prey to the same dark impulses as Hadeans, which is partly why the Peacekeepers exist. Being a peacekeeper is admirable. Risking one's life for the betterment of others is a noble pursuit. No matter how hard they try, I refuse to hate them and never will. We both share the same land and God. There is plenty of room for peaceful coexistence, and Sethrus has plenty of love to spare. I'm not naive. I understand why things are the way they are, but that doesn't mean I have to accept them. How do we stop the spread of hatred from one generation to the next? I lack the wisdom to know the answer, but know where to begin. I need to start with the next generation. The children of this war must let go of their hatred if we are to climb out of the hole we dug for ourselves. There is a moment in history that all palamists should reflect on, if not regret entirely. The country was ruled by a heavy-handed theocracy, with one thing in mind: power. A young charismatic erudite named Savingo wrote several Reformation theses, which gained popularity. What did the Palamist traditionalists do? They hunted them down. They accused them of heresy and burned them at the stake. They were Palamists who only wanted reform. Nothing is easier than listening and finding common ground. It is effortless compared to the alternative. That moment of hubris sent us on the path of endless wars. We don't learn from our mistakes. We only seem to repeat them. I overheard the guards speaking of such creatures. If what they describe is accurate, then the darkest days are ahead of us. In specific passages, the Holy Kata speaks of TR's demons. Some of these passages relate to the curse of TR, brought on by the great sins of destructive emotions. These writings were meant to be interpreted as metaphors and stories, to teach and inform us. Could this be happening? May his eye protect us.
Do you know where I might find the blacksmith?
Even before all this started, he was often gone. A dark burden weighed on him. I sincerely hope he has escaped Jova with the ON convoy. Pray, my son. Pray he hasn't been shipped off to the prison camps.
Did you happen to see where the convoy went?
Lieutenant Rue came to negotiate my release. Captain Voss would hear none of it. I heard their trucks leave the outpost this morning. Many roads lead outside the marsh. Sadly, my situation prevented me from seeing where they went.
Why is Captain Voss doing this to you?
Captain Voss is a criminal and thief parading as a soldier. You don't believe me? Look inside his trucks. They are filled with things he stole from Palamist families. It is the reason why he arrested me. He can beat me as long as he likes. My answer will always remain the same. There is nothing of value in the Abbey besides our barrels of mead.
Where's the ON outpost?
It's not far. Turn right, just before the blacksmith's forge. You should see it down the hill.
Where's the Abbey?
It's southeast of Jova, sitting on a rocky plateau. From the marshes you can see its beautiful golden spheres and Sethrus's ever-watchful eye. Tread lightly, my son. Captain Voss sent some of his men to ransack the Abbey. He's obsessed with finding a treasure that does not exist. They can keep beating me for as long as they want. I have no idea what they are talking about.
What happened here?
Madness and hatred happened here, and lots of it. When I finally managed to get back from Tulsi, I rushed to my brother's home only to find my niece Rebecca orphaned. Then the soldiers began to round up the villagers. When they kicked in the door, I told her to hide. I gave myself up.
I found your niece. She's okay.
Thanks, Sethrus. She was always brighter than the other kids. When we leave this place, and we will, I'll take her somewhere peaceful and quiet.
There's nothing for you here. Head to Jova, if you can.
coming. The demons. All in the cards, see? I watched them like a hawk. What's going on to the south? Who knows? All connected. Got to find the pattern. Been taking notes. Pictures. Cataloging. All on the wall there. Can't leave, though. Can't leave. Government dogs waiting in the weeds. Want my research. Need a zoom lens. Yes, staying right here. Need close-ups for the wall. Don't need it. Don't need it. Need to finish research. Thanks for the help. Wait, that necklace. You must be one of his friends.
Who are you?
I'm Victor Gaz. I left Jova to look for my mentor Vitalis. My ears are still ringing from that damn explosion. The trucks must have driven over a mine or something. I pulled Lieutenant Rue out just in time. We're the only survivors. The explosion must have attracted the creatures. We hid in here until I could figure out a way back to Jova.
Who is Vitalis?
Vitalis is the blacksmith of Jova. I've been his apprentice for many years. I was an idiot to think I could go look for him. Recently, some agents came for him. You know, black suits, shades. Let's just say they didn't seem like the type to fuck around. Listen, maybe we could help each other. Take the key to Vitalis' home. I found a locked door in the basement, but couldn't figure out how to open it. Maybe you'll have better luck than I did. I'll come join you later. I need to make sure the lieutenant can make it back to Jova. I'll find a way to avoid the creatures.
You know anything about this necklace?
We can talk about the necklace when we get back to Jova.
Do you know what these weapons are?
Not here. We'll talk about it later when we get back to Jova.
Where's Vitalis' home?
The house is right in front of the forge in the northeastern part of Jova. You can't miss it. There's a blue swing in the tree next to the house.
Hey! I made it back! Come and see me when you're done.
Thanks for helping us in the tunnel. I left Lieutenant Rue at the outpost. I'll check in on her later. Any luck figuring out how to open the door in the basement? I looked everywhere for the code. We've always been cut off from the rest of the world, even before Girion Yankel's dictatorship. Everyone acts surprised when Sabinians and Palamists rip each other apart. Isolation has terrible consequences on individuals. Imagine what it can do to an entire population. In fact, you don't have to. Look around. There are plenty of examples of such consequences. It's like Hadea is a science experiment gone awry, meant to teach the rest of the world a lesson. After witnessing and hearing of atrocities being committed all over Hadea, it only seems to fill my spirit with dark thoughts. One thought stands out from the rest, though. Whatever these creatures are, we deserve them. I have nothing but good to say about them. They're the first outsiders I ever met. They were very friendly to everyone and very helpful. Lieutenant Rue gave me a few odd jobs here and there. Her men taught me how to play football. I had a blast, as did some of the kids in Jova. They organized a small tournament, which helped us forget about the political tensions flaring up. I feel sorry for Lieutenant Rue, though. She lost all her men. They were all very close, especially with Rojo and Typhon. I should check in on her soon. My father was Sabinian. I'm a freak occurrence in Hadea. I belong to both worlds. I think the Sabinians got lost in their so-called progressiveness. They seem to have lost touch with their roots. If you go far enough into history, Sabinians were all Palamists at one time. I think it's important to know where you're from. It might humble some of the pride and temper reckless ambitions. Don't tell anyone, but my mom was a Palamist. I attended Mass and participated in some of the rituals. It made my mother happy. But I grew out of it. Now that I think about it, that's when my life took a turn for the worse. Vitalis helped me out of that hole I had dug for myself. However, I would be a liar if I said that my faith didn't play a big part in my recovery. I'm happy to say that I stand in his gaze again. And yes, I admit it. I pray to him at times, especially for Vitalis' safe return. Vitalis had a relapse a while back. I helped him through it. He let a few things slip out, though. It didn't make much sense then, but I started connecting the dots when I crossed the marsh. He spoke of these creatures. He said that they were coming. He called it the calamity. He said they were the physical manifestation of malevolent human emotions, and war was their doorway into our world. I figured it was the alcohol talking. I sure as hell believe him now.
Can you tell me more about Vitalis?
Vitalis was haunted by the past and anxious about the future. He was often away, sometimes for months at a time. After seeing the destruction of the war and the creature's sudden appearance, I now understand why he was so preoccupied.
Do you know the woman in the pictures?
Whoever she is, she seems to be a painful memory. Vitalis became angry whenever I asked about her, and he would shut me out completely. So I dropped it.
What do you make of this note?
Vitalis never mentioned a journalist. I know where the Weeping Knight is, though. It's in the Vissa Hills. It's a large statue of a Sabinian knight holding another fallen in combat. I'm surprised it's still around, considering it's in the Palamist province. It's nestled under a large weeping willow tree. People often light candles and leave pictures of their loved ones at the foot of the statue.
What do you know about the vigil?
Vitalis told me about the vigil, but not in detail. Before he left, he promised to explain everything upon his return.
Any idea what Captain Voss is up to?
My best guess is that he's thieving. Be careful when dealing with Voss. Men like him are unpredictable, which makes Voss very dangerous. I'm only alive because I'm useful to him. Thanks Etheris, too. Otherwise, I'd be dead or, worse, shipped off to a prison camp.
What is going on with Abbot Jaffer?
When I left to find Vitalis, they kept him in a small house in the center of town, exposing him like that in the open. Captain Voss wants to send a message to whoever remains in Jova. I'll find a way to get him some water when the guard is distracted. It's all I can do for him. Whatever Captain Voss wants from Abbot Jaffer, he won't stop until he gets it.
You know anything about this necklace?
Vitalis has one too, though it's not quite the same. I noticed some of his friends wore similar ones around their necks. They call themselves the Vigil. I think they're made of limbic shards like your weapons, but I'm not sure. The weapons, the necklaces, and the vigils are all connected somehow. I guess Vitalis left out some lessons.
What are these weapons?
They're called limbic weapons. Vitalis told me that they were intricately tied to this country's history. He taught me how to repair and enhance them. But to do so, I need limbic shards. And Vitalis wouldn't tell me where the shards come from. He kept a small stash hidden behind the red toolbox. Go get it, and I'll show you what I can do.
Can you tell me more about yourself?
When I met Vitalis, I was in a very dark place. If it wasn't for him, chances are I'd either be a criminal or dead. Face down in a ditch somewhere. But Vitalis saw something in me. He gave me focus, discipline, and skills. Skills that would one day serve a great purpose. Here, it's better than you. Vitalis would be proud. I've outdone myself this time. Damn, I'm good. I've outdone myself this time. It's better than you. I've outdone myself this time.
I still can't believe what happened. We were finally leaving Jova. This massive creature materialized ahead of us. Swatted the truck aside like a fly. We grabbed what we could and slogged through the marsh. The creatures were everywhere. What the hell are they? Rojo and I are the only two left. I'm almost out of metformin. I'm a goner without those pills. Even if I wasn't stuck in a goddamn swamp, sourcing medication in a war-torn country is next to impossible. What a disaster. I still can't grab.
How the hell did you find us? You know what? Doesn't matter. We were part of the peacekeeping mission assigned to Jova. When the order to pull out came in, I was so relieved. Our CO, Lieutenant Rue, convinced us to stay for a few days. I wanted out of this place so bad. And it didn't take much effort to convince the others to leave with me. And now we're stuck here. No way in hell I'm going back out there without support. I need a SATCOM radio to contact HQ. Damn it. How the hell did you find our CO, and now we're stuck? That.
We got separated. I finally, without one of their belongings. Camille's rosary. I can give them a proper burial with this. My family can now rest in Setharis's gaze. You have my everlasting thanks, stranger.